Hello, hello, and welcome back to Password. So I wanted to start on the main menu for no other reason than we have the Tyson one this time. You know, he's so cute. Just wanted to show that off. I usually would just start, you know, with the file loaded and everything, but wanted to show that off because I'm a bad person. Okay. The table briefly looked at Oswin for confirmation, but he seemed more interested in filling up his mug with more coffee. How detailed are they? The question seems to give Thanatos pause regarding excuse me, just moving things a bit. Regarding Roswell carefully before giving his answer. Very. Chances are I know things about you that you're keeping secret from one another. Like what? Hold on. I think it's not worth delving into that. Why not, Roswell? We have no way to verify that he's telling the truth anyway. How so? I think a better line of questioning would be, what does it mean that he's the Volt? That might inadvertently answer the question of if he can be trusted. Oh, he's very hit or miss as far as trusting him, I think. Or he makes it hard to trust him anyway. Real nice, Junior. But as far as but as for being the Volt, what's not to get? I'm the backup system of it. I'm the back-end system of it. Sorry, I still don't quite understand. Well, if he's the system of the Volt, then it begs the question as to what the Volt does and can do. Okay. Well, as far as we know, it does the whole vision thing, right? Remember, we had this explained to us some days ago when we learned about Who's in the Woods. Morphic resonance and trauma go hand in hand to trigger past memories, real past memories. Oswin grunted, and I caught him side-eyeing Roswell, but kept quiet beyond that. So, Thanatos can make us remember stuff? Sort of. If he's telling the truth, yes. Everything Dave has seen so far, just being a past memory of him. Can I just say how fucked this is? How can you expect us to believe that anyway? How else would you explain it, Ty? Those things never happened, but they were so clear, so real. I just don't know. I just don't know what else they can be. Fucking drugged up hallucination bullshit, maybe. Oh, he's to the side. Has that happened yet? Okay. Nah, mate. Don't need drugs to do what I do. Just a good high-pitched noise will do it just fine. Noise? Ty started to growl, jumping up and hunching over the table. He stumbled over his words, trying to figure out how to phrase what he wanted to, but I could tell from his eyes bulging that he'd put it together. Yeah, Thanatos was under Ty's bed. Ty made a grab for Thanatos, but came up short the moment the rat took a back step. I have a question. For what? Oh, for who? Open question, I suppose. But, do we know who's puppeting him right now? Isn't he a robot? Well, yes, and that's what he said, but we haven't seen Benson in a while. No strings on me, that's for sure. He does what he wants, Roswell. You're sure? He doesn't take orders from anyone. Before anyone could get the word out, Oswin was now staring. In theory, that person should be me. Alas, that's not the case. What are you talking about, master? Oh, he put it in quotes. I can see the smile on his face, and the way he stressed that last word that made me wonder specifically what he was playing at. But then who? You don't need to know that. Let's put aside explaining why for later. Uh, well, where does that leave us then? Dean, you don't get it. You really don't get it. It's hard to process, but the implication to me, at least, is clear. Don't leave me in the dark. The implication is that it's one of us, isn't it? A lump in the back of my throat kept me quiet, but I could see looks being shot around the table. The prospect seems to cause everyone to second guess the truth of what Sal has suggested, and the silence was making it worse. Well, it's not me. It could be, though. It could be. I mean, that'd make Dean very attractive, wouldn't it? Like him being the mastermind. Yeah. If you didn't sound so genuine, I'd be second guessing that based on how he showed up to talk to you when no one else was around. It's a little suspicious, but I don't think Dean's smart enough to play a long game. Okay, such as this without anyone knowing. It also have meant that he'd have brought Thanatos with him on the bus. See? It can't be me. Well, it's not me either, but I can't put together a broken ECM. Then I can hardly put together a robot, let alone a full AI to run it. It's not me either. Honestly, thinking about it logically, it can't be any of us, can it? I'm relieved, but why? I'd have to guess that it's because he's the Volt, right? It's not just making a robot or an AI, but then to make the Volt itself really only means that you need a level of intelligence, a level of knowledge on this sort of stuff, along with the ability to construct it, right? Rules me out. I can't have a. I don't have the cash and barely get how it all works. Dave can back me up on that. I only understand from video games, honest. And your folks are in a mob. You've got money. I appreciate that you can put that together, but I'd rather spend my money elsewhere. Thanks. He's got a point. I imagine if Orlando really had that much money, he'd do something to stop demons and ghosts from threatening to torment him. Much help, that'll do him. What about you, Roswell? Me? I don't mind the ghosts and demons. Don't avoid the question. He means the master of this rat bullshit, smartass. Oh, no. It can't be me, can it? Why not? I'll admit that I have the smarts, potentially, but no resources. Isn't your dad a lawyer, though? They make some money. By that logic, we can be pointing at you as a suspect given your mother. So, what I'm getting at is that all of us are in the clear. No one could have done it. There was an air of hopefulness in his voice, and he stood up, leaving one less person in their chair. That's good, right? The rat's lying, and then... Orlando's smile faded the moment the snickering happened, Thanatos shaking with laughter as he remained in his spot on the table. Well done. Very well done. He rubbed his hands together quickly before looking at each of us, all the while snickering to himself. You've convinced yourselves that none of you is a traitor. No one has the means or the opportunity, right? You should know better than anyone, David Holloway Jr. I finally sat back down, worried about what he was going to say. It was a primal instinct to react in some amount of fear when your full name was called. What am I? A miserable okay. The Volt. How long have I been alive for? I don't know. This time around? At least 10 years, I think. This time around? Oh. So I'll ask you again. How long have I been alive? How? Many iterations of the universe have you gone through? Now that is something I haven't been keeping track of. Too many. Then, is your master alive? Very good, Dave. Asking the right questions. The answer to that is complicated. It seems pretty easy to answer, given being alive or dead is just one or the other. You can't be both. I guess unless you're a zombie. Zombies aren't real, are they? Depends. What, being on death's door? On what? I guess if you get resuscitated after you died, then that makes you a zombie, sort of, right? That's not how that works, though. I can't think of. I don't think you can give CPR to someone whose brain has stopped. At least I think that's what I remember Mom saying. Oh, thank God. You're welcome. Not you. Not once. Not now. Not ever. Killjoy. To summarize. And remember Class Prez from Yu-Gi-Oh! Zeal and how his catchphrase was always to summarize. At the end of at the beginning of every fucking sentence he said. We're left with an unknown master controlling Thanatos, who was instructed to torment Tyson, right? That about sums it up. Which leaves us with a list of suspects, spanning those in the mansion, and from what I got from Thanatos' implication, spanning multiple iterations of the universe. Uh-huh, right. So, I have a question for the god of death in the room. Yes. When was the last time you communicated with your master? He seemed to regard the question carefully, either weighing something up or trying to figure out if he was able to answer. Today. Wait, what? Any other questions? When today? Did they ask you anything? Again, he seemed to consider the question before answering. Reasoned, and yes. This is getting us nowhere. How do we know we can trust this little shit? We don't have much of a choice, do we? A talking robot, a rat robot, is already a lot for the first thing in the morning. But here we are. Well, I don't like it. Tough luck. Can't we just ignore him already? But Ty, without him, I wouldn't, have known to save you. He's the one that almost drove me nuts, Dave. Under my bed, remember? Uh-huh. He's got a point. I don't need your backup. Well, I'm worried about the timing already, actually. What timing? Why is he appearing now? Why is this only being told to us now? What's going to happen next? Easy enough to answer. Junior here caught me in the act. Not to say I didn't try helping him along a few days ago. A few days ago? When you started having your little headaches. And when Junior here almost crushed me when I made him pass out in front of you in Orlando. Tyson made another dive for Thanatos, and his fingers scraped against fur, but he wasn't close enough still. You fucker! He razzed Tyson and took refuge behind Sal's arm as he came down on the table to block Tyson from making another attempt. Hey, Thanatos, how much trouble are we in? Interesting question. Why? Are you evil? Not quite what I'm getting at, but I just don't get why. Sal said it best that the timing just seems strange. How long have you been in contact with the rat, Dave? Oh, that's a good question. How long have you been at the mansion so far? 3 weeks, give or take a day or two. Facts. Then about 10 days ago, we made first contact face to face. Then a few days ago, is when we met on a little adventure and had a chat. I don't know if that is something I need to ask, but, were you around when Dave went into the woods by himself? Yeah, why? Why didn't you stop him? Show him a thing or whatever to make him not go. See, thing is, I can't make him go anywhere or show him anything unless he's in the room downstairs. He never went down leading up to it, so there wasn't an opportunity. But you could have just told him not to go in there. You've even met him before that point. Maybe. I didn't feel like it. Starting to see what you meant when you asked if he was evil, Dean. Did you really not feel it? Wasn't my call in the end. What do you mean? Everything that happened turned out for the best, didn't it? You opened up about your old man. Everyone started taking you seriously. And look at you now. Would you go back and change it if you could? Immediately, the whole table seemed to shift into looking upon Thanatos, and unhappily at that. I don't think so. I don't think that I had to be chased in the woods, and I don't like how being outside stressed me out a little, but if that didn't happen, we wouldn't know who's out there. I probably still would be bottling up what happened to Dad, too. That's what you said last time, too. Oh. Now, well, I remember. Let me hijack this conversation before we spend the next hour accusing me of things. Roswell had an announcement. I did. I quirked a brow at Thanatos, confused as to what Roswell had to say, and looked over to him. He seemed conflicted, but understood what Thanatos was talking about, nodding slowly. Right. I guess that's just better brought up now, huh? He took a deep breath and started to fiddle with his fingers. All the while, Thanatos seemed to make himself comfortable, notably away from Tyson. So I have a confession. A secret that I've been hiding from you all. There's no good way to say this. So I guess I just will. I'm dying. Huh? Dying? Oh, right, this is Tyson's route, so he wouldn't have told. Okay. My confusion seemed to be the same as everyone else's, but Roswell continued. A long time ago, I was diagnosed with something untreatable. For the most part, it was, benign. It didn't really hinder me at all, is what I'm saying. But I was told that it was terminal. He was young, too. Real young. Like 4? Maybe 5? I can verify this. I was consulted on if there was anything that could be done after the hospital issued their diagnosis. Regrettably, Roswell has the right of it that it is untreatable. Everyone seemed to stay quiet as Osmond spoke, his tone level and calm. It is not easy to tell a child that they are going to die, but from speaking with Roswell's mother, they sought out every avenue they could think of. Mom and Dad were very accommodating with answering what questions I had. I barely remember what I asked, given it was so long ago, so chances are I asked the same thing multiple times. That was the advice of the consulting pediatrician. That's it. Granted, I'd second that advice. I think it was the right call. I appreciate knowing what's happening to me, why I got sick at times and whatever. Now for the big news. How long do you have left? Like 10 days. Truthfully, I'm on borrowed time. I could make out the month, maybe. Another one, or even a year before it happens. Thanatos shook his head. Wrong. What do you mean wrong? Remember who's seen the different outcomes of this month? Wait, it's less than a month? It's variable. I've seen it happen once, no, twice. On both, but both on different days. You've seen me die of natural causes? Natural causes, okay. That would mean I don't make it home. Depending on how the next few days plan out, you might get home before it happens. You might not. But that's not long. 10 days or so until the end of our vacation. 10 days until... Until Roswell dies. Don't go being dramatic. I said it could be sooner than that. And how's that better? Because nothing has been decided yet. I thought you'd like the variants. The reason I'm bringing this up now is because of where we find ourselves, getting off the mountain, or potentially needing to make some hard decisions. I'm getting in early, so we're all on the same page. What hard decisions, specifically? Roswell breathed in deep before exhaling through his nose, looking to me briefly, then to Thanatos, then to Sal, rather than talking to the group as a whole. In the absolute worst case scenario, if someone needs to die or be left behind, let it be me. Everyone looked uncomfortable and didn't want to look at Roswell after he'd spoken, except for me. And after catching my eye, it was clear he'd noticed. He'd noticed to no one else was looking at him anymore. Logically, it makes the most sense. If someone needs to be left behind so the others can survive or escape or whatever, it makes sense that that person should be me. So please, hopefully nothing happens, but if it does... He trailed off, looking at the others as if pleading for them to acknowledge what he'd asked. I promise. The words were barely out of my mouth when Orlando stood up suddenly and stormed out of the room, followed quickly by Haas. They looked distraught, and Orlando was most definitely crying. Tyson shot me a look before getting up out of his chair and going after Haas. Roswell shifted in place before sitting in his chair with a sigh. There, it's done. Good. I might need time before I am able to promise you anything, Roswell. This is going to take a bit to think through. Sal left next, and he half dragged Dean out of his chair, given he was still wide-eyed and dazed from the news. Okay. I hope you're happy with yourself. I've pushed the conversation in the way that best benefits me. Yes. I love Thanatos. Didn't really want to get chased around the room by Tyson again. Roswell, are you alright? No, not really. But that had to be done, right? That's right. At least we know now, but where does that get us? What happens now? I believe going to take Roswell somewhere so he's not alone. Perhaps a slow game of chess. I'm sure I have some candy somewhere. Okay. But I'm able to hang out with him. Osmond shook his head. You have plans already, from what I've been told. Besides, I think this calls for a doctor's touch. But you're not a doctor, remember? Boy, you are absolutely still young enough for me to hurl you through a window. Mind your manners. Thanatos, do I die from being hurled out the window? No. Good to know. I'm leaving Thanatos in your care for the time being, Dave. He pulled Roswell out of his chair and nudged him towards the door to the foyer. We'll have a chat later. Then it was just Thanatos and me, staring at one another. So, what? Ready for the next job? If I'm being honest, not really. I feel like that could have gone better. It's gone worse in the past. That's been one of the more tamer discussions on record. How much worse could it have gone? Tyson injured my body to the point of not being functional. That caused some problems. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't be. I just directed the conversation in a way I wanted, so it didn't happen. Cutting it real close, though. He wandered over to me, kicking my hand, so I was slumped over on my spot at the table. Come on, we need to go talk to Benson. Whoa, Benny boy. Oh, right. Guess there's no break, huh? What do you need a break for? Get going. Alright. I'll end the part here, so I'll see you around, everyone.